Hello everyone, it's Shane Kanto, your Wasteland reviewer, and I'm here to review The Unhealer. And this is from director Martin Guigui and focuses on a young man who has this weird, medicine power bestowed upon him by a crotchety old, just scumbag of a con man who somehow finds it in the desert. And then this young man uses it as revenge to go against the bullies in his life. And this film is starring Elijah Nelson as Kelly, who is our main character here, and has a few recognizable faces, like Lance Hendrickson, who's this older man who honestly turns out to be in this movie for a very small part of it. And while he's in it, is over the top and just yelling and just very crotchety and angry. And it works. And you also have performances from Branscombe Richmond and Adam Beach, who, to be perfectly honest, I feel kind of bad. I feel kind of bad for them because they're committed to this story. This film isn't very strong. From a directing standpoint, it's very clunky, it's very awkward. A lot of the performances, especially from these teenage actors, are really forced and uncomfortable and laughable at times. Nelson definitely is Kelly, and Kelly has Pica, and it's just portrayed in such a weird and awkward way that it's borderline funny when it's not supposed to be funny. And his performance is so all over the place. And the tricky thing about this film is his arc is he just gets more unlikable and unlikable, and you lose that anchor in the story for you to root for. And that's tough in this film because it doesn't have else a whole lot going for it. This story, he increasingly figures out ways to trick his bullies into doing certain things. And you've seen these kinds of things where this strange power comes into the life of a downtrodden person and they use it for vengeance or use it for bad. But I've seen it done in such better ways, even like Christine for that matter, which is somewhere right over my shoulder there. But in this film, he's just so unlikable. And he has this young woman, played by Kayla Carlson, who he has this connection with, and that makes him a little bit likable. And he has a nice relationship with his mother, played by Shelby James. And some of the people in this movie have some horrible fates, and some of it is played off the emotion, especially from Nelson, is kind of funny when he's supposed to be emotionally devastated. But you have Richmond and Adam Beach, who are really committed to their roles. There's this really awkward moment though where they're both superficially lit when they're talking about Native American things, and just it's really cheesy. And of course it starts off with going down the road and there's a sign, Indian Burial Ground, and I'm just oh my god. And this has a really interesting concept, but it's flushed down the toilet with bad sound mixing. Some people are easier to hear than others. The music feels out of place. It's very clunky in the way that this film is made and directed and just presented. And it has some interesting ideas, but also there's not all the logic of how these powers work are very clear, which makes you question and have things come out of nowhere. It's how's he able to do that? Why is this going on? And there's one particular scene that's really awkward in a classroom that was really unexpected and really didn't need to be there. It was there to set up this idea of something, but did it really need to be that? And it really took me out of the film. But besides a couple of strong performances and a cool idea, The Unhealer is very much a misfire here. and I probably wouldn't recommend checking this out on VOD. But those are my thoughts on the Unhealer. Let me know what you think, and let's talk some movies. But thank you as always for tuning in and supporting your Wasteland reviewer.